This is an open meeting of the Library Building Committee and is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. As such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. You can find the town's website at www.graftonma.gov. It allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded, so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. So we are convening by Zoom, as posted by the town's website, identifying how the public may join. So I am going to do a roll call to make sure everybody can hear me. We'll start with Beth.
Here.
Lisa.
Here.
Julie.
Here.
Doug.
Here.
Prabhu.
Here.
And John.
Here.
And hi, Ron. Okay, so let's start with last month's meeting minutes. So call to order. You got that, Lisa, and then the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Are there any comments? Okay. So by roll call,
I'll make a motion to approve the September
Yeah.
12th minutes.
okay, I'm a little out of it.
And I'll
Okay.
second them.
Thank you. By roll call, Beth.
Aye, if there's no discussion.
Oh, I thought I asked and there was
Okay,
none.
yeah, aye.
Okay. Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and Mary. Aye. Declare that motion carried. Next are bills.
I do have one. I apologize. I just sent it. It's for $2,018.75. Give me a moment and I can try to share it. It's sideways. This is from DPW, who did our wetland border signage. They had to buy hardware and make little aluminum signs that are now on the perimeter of the property, noting conservation land. So that's the delivery ticket, and that is the $2,000 plus fee, which I believe was approved to proceed based on the quote at a previous meeting.
Mhm.
Happy to try and answer questions. I can tell you that the signs are there and they look nice. They're small, as opposed to great big warning signs.
Which is good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they put one like on the fence rail where the fence makes part of that border.
Okay. So we did all talk about this before and we all agreed that it had to happen. So,
Yeah.
all right. Does anybody have any questions on it, Lisa?
No, I'll make a motion to pay $2,018.75 to Visa Flash, not DPW, Visa Flash Rentals Eastern Inc. All right.
I'll second it.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions before we vote? Okay, hearing none. Vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie. Julie, did you?
Aye.
Thank
Sorry.
you. That's okay. Doug,
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and Mary. Aye. Declare the motion carried. No other bills, Beth?
Not, if there were, I missed them getting submitted to me. I haven't had a construction pay app since May. So.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so then we will go straight to you, Ron.
Hello, everyone. I'll be basically filling in for Mark. Items that are still being worked out are, I'm just reading my notes. The controls, veterans is still gathering information regarding the commissioning items that are outstanding. And we'll be getting that information to CTA. LG was on site, I think Paul said last Thursday, to check out the noise that's being heard and listen to the recording, etc. But they haven't provided a report back to Paul yet as to what they think it might be. And I haven't heard any new information about the temperature issues with the teen librarian office. That's still in their court. The leak at the teen room door, CTA did some patching around the concrete platform landing that's outside the door. They found that in the very corners of the door where the frame meets the concrete pitched back a little bit. So they used an infill to level it out and actually pitch it a little bit away from the door, and also fill in around the edge of the threshold, the aluminum threshold, so that water doesn't get underneath it. So unless anyone in the library has seen any additional leaking, they think that should resolve the issue. In terms of roof leaks, I don't think there's been any other incident since that one. So that I was just watching Beth to see if she knew of anything else. So the door leak should be fixed. We'll see if there's another major rain event, if it holds up. And then the roof, we just have to see if it occurs again, and go from there. In terms of lead, we're waiting for the USGBC, the USG Green Building Council, to finish their review of the submitted package. It's expected in mid-October. It may come a little bit earlier. And if this review is accepted, we submit the construction review right away. And the only thing we need from that is information from the commissioning agent to be uploaded. Everything else is uploaded and ready to go. As long as they get that information in, before the 18th, that second phase will go right through, and we're not expecting any issues to come back. The gate at the main stair was installed, the end of last week, Beth? Oh, today is Monday, so yeah, it had to be the end of last week. From what I know, it's operable. They are putting, well, they haven't on the panic hardware yet. Is the door not swinging?
There's not a wheel. Is there supposed to be a wheel? There's a piece of cardboard propping it up.
These guys are going to drive me nuts.
Sorry.
They were
have it
instructed
open.
to. Yeah.
It swings, but
I'm sorry.
it swings and it looks pretty,
It's well.
but we don't want to
It
not.
looks pretty, but
Yeah.
Two things. One is I found out in today's meeting that the mill worker who fabricated the gate made the decision on his own not to put in the wheel. After they were, we voted on it the last meeting, they were directed to install it. They said, well, we don't think it's necessary. So Mark is going to have to chase that one down as the owner's rep. As the designer, I specified it. It was always in the project. Until it got taken out and then got put back in. But, Paul said that the gate swings fine. And I said, well, what if that's not the case a month from now? So I'm going to have to talk to Mark about going back to the fabricator about the wheel. And then the specified 3 form, which are polycarbonate panels, are not what we specified. And we checked our documents, they were in the drawings. The proper specification for what Beth requested was in the drawings, it was in the proposal request to the contractor. It was in the proposed change order from the contractor and the mill worker. And what showed up is not what we specified. So Paul is going back to them to find out what's going on. I asked, I don't know why he hasn't done it yet. All of the documentation, go ahead.
Was it the pattern was completely wrong, or was it the thickness, or what, all of those things?
No, different pattern. What we specified was a 3 form pattern.
Yeah.
Called Fleck Iced or Fleck Ice Mint or Fleck Iced Mint. And it was in all of the documentation. What showed up is just frosted polycarbonate, like an etched glass.
Yeah. Probably not a 3 form at all.
Probably not 3 form. And there's,
Yeah.
I checked their proposed change order, and there's $2,500 in there for the 3 form, and it calls out what we specified.
Yeah.
Ice mint or the Fleck iced mint.
Does CTA pay them? Do we pay them? How do they get paid?
They have to change it. They have no argument.
No, but it's like when a bill gets provided, do they provide a bill to CTA or to us?
They are a subcontractor of CTA, so the change order and subsequent payments go through CTA.
And is Paul somebody from CTA?
Paul is the last main person from CTA assigned to the project. I don't know if he's one of the partners or one of the project managers, but he's up there. So that's something else. You know, we've told them there's no reason why it shouldn't be what we specified. And go ahead, Beth.
I was gonna say, I do have an email saying it, that he will request Orion to change it out. So
Yeah. It's
the hardware is the bigger issue, really.
I'm sorry.
The hardware is the bigger issue because it's really not operable, I feel, without the wheel and the crash bar and the locking mechanism. So
The crash bar is supposed to be installed, I think he said tomorrow or Wednesday.
Okay.
So that is scheduled to be installed. The crash bar.
okay,
The wheel-
that's news to me. And
I'm
I'm not, that's news to me, and I will not be here as it's Yom Kippur on Wednesday.
yeah, I'm out Wednesday too.
Yom Tov. Hopefully custodian will let somebody in.
So, you know, at this point, I don't know what to do with them. And aside from having Mark as the owner's representative say, you know, chase it down for them. They're not contracted. And I don't mean this as an excuse. They're not contracted to the architect, so I have little control over them. But those are the remaining issues with the gate. The humidifier, I saw the emails from Beth and from William Blake today. And basically there was that whole discussion about the subcontractor veterans after agreeing to modify the system that's built in to the HVAC system. When they were scheduled to install it, they said, we're not going to do it. We don't think it's going to work. We pursued a different unit, a smaller unit. The only issue with that is that it requires clearances on all sides, and where we intended to put it, where there's open space on the wall, isn't big enough. So to go with that unit, we would need to take out a section of shelving and put it on the wall. And I know Beth wanted to avoid that, which is why I suggested a smaller residential unit. But if that isn't satisfactory, then, we need to take out some shelving and put this thing on the wall. So what I was planning on doing is making up a quick sketch showing where this unit would be located within the room, what shelving would need to be taken out, get Beth's approval on it, and then get it over to CTA to go from there to move forward with it. But this unit is a plumbed unit. There's a water line feeding to it. There is a drain that ties into a drain on the floor below that's in place. We'll probably need to run electrical to it from where, because it's no longer part of the HVAC system. It's a standalone unit. Nothing major. All of these can be accomplished. It's just a matter of if we get sign off on where to place it, we can move forward with it.
So when we originally spoke about this last month, we said there could be a credit for this work. Now knowing what you know, could we still expect a credit, or is that going to go away now that you have to do another sketch?
No, there should be a credit coming, because what was approved to modify the HVAC system, there was a change order for $19,000 that was approved. Now this should be less than $19,000. I don't know what this unit costs. I haven't researched it yet. It was proposed by the people that manufacture the original humidifier unit. So I have to chase down, just for comparison's sake, so I have an idea of what kind of credit we might be able to expect. I'm going to look and see what this unit costs. I mean, it's a 1 foot high by roughly 2 foot wide, 1 foot deep standalone unit that gets mounted to the wall. And you run a water line to it, you run a drain away from it, and you provide power for it. So it's not a big unit. I don't know what they cost, but it shouldn't be anywhere near $19,000 worth of work. And then the intent was to see what kind of credit we get out of the humidifier and apply that possibly to the doors, the proposed solution for the doors to the 2 program rooms.
So I have a whole bunch of other questions. Can I go, or is there more for the report?
I'm done with the report. You can go ahead.
All right, number one, you had mentioned the first thing out of the gate, was that about controls? Like, I'm not doing a great job as secretary tonight, I'm sorry. So you had mentioned something about something was making a noise.
Okay. The first thing I mentioned was under the general topic of building system controls. One issue they're looking into is that there's a noise coming from something in the HVAC system. LG, who's the manufacturer, went out to investigate, and we haven't gotten a report back as to what they think is causing the noise.
Because is it the same? Did we just sign off on the controls last month? I have things in the minutes that say controls are all set, we can pay. Control related work.
I believe.
Okay.
It's kind of 2 separate things.
Okay.
They're actually the building control system. This is a noise coming from a piece of equipment.
Okay.
I grouped it under controls / HVAC in presenting this information, but it's something of a separate issue from what control work has been done and paid for.
Okay. And then the door.
Just on that, Lisa, just wanted to, we were originally talking about the automated control system.
Yes.
They weren't going to put it in, and we're saying, yes, it was owned under the contract. They were doing it under protest or doing it, didn't want to do it for a long time, but finally they did it, correct, Ron?
Yes, it was done under protest.
Right, and then, so this is a separate one that now something's banging in the mechanical and they had to take a piece out and they have to get it replaced and there's nothing, they have to find out where the replacement is before
Well, they
can
have to
fix
find out
this.
what's causing the noise and why it's.
Well, I got an email, and Beth, I think you got it as well, saying that it was a piece of equipment that they took out of the unit and needed to get a replacement part and didn't, they have to wait for the part.
Was that because of the noise or because of the temperature control?
I believe it was the noise.
Maybe I misread the email.
So this was communicated directly to children's room frontline staff, and I got it in an email secondhand today.
And it says that they took out a piece of equipment because of the noise or because of the temperature control.
I don't think it specifies the reason, just that they've taken out something, they're waiting for a part. It's related to the children's program room issue, which is temperature and noise.
Okay,
And said that we may need another heating solution for the winter season if the part does not come.
We may need some sort of supplemental heat in that space if the part doesn't come in time.
right.
But again, wouldn't that be on them to provide that until they fix the issue?
That's a good question. I don't know what level of supplemental heating they're talking about. Are they talking about a space heater or are they talking about something more? Either way, I think it's something Mark should chase down as the owner's rep to determine what needs to be done if it can't be replaced within a reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
What space are we talking about? Would we need supplemental heat?
The children's program room, which is 114 down on the first floor. An easy solution actually is simply, we'll just relocate any children's programming to the community room. But there is a sink in that program room and it can't get cold enough for pipes to freeze. So I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think,
Yeah.
being an interior space, I don't think it would get that cold. If it gets that cold, you're gonna feel it throughout the floor. But if relocating is an option, I don't know.
Well, this is also timing with the ADA sink and counter work. So.
And you also have,
Yeah.
you may have conflicts with other programs in the program room,
Sure.
but that's.
Generally not at that hour of the day.
Okay,
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
nice if we did not have to, move people, shift people around if they have to.
Yeah, but space heaters and little kids are just not a good
Mm-mm.
solution. So
No.
we
it's
just
not.
move the programming. It is what it is.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah,
then,
I'm-
oh,
no, go ahead.
and so I want to confirm that the door to the teen room was leaking and that has been addressed and it doesn't, and it isn't continuing to leak that we know of. Perfect. And then can we talk a little bit about the roof leak? I understand it only happened once, but last month we talked about running a hose test. Oh, it's happened twice.
Was it
That's been said.
was it the same leak or was it a different leak, Beth? Okay, it did happen twice.
Same leak, yeah, 2 months apart.
Okay,
And then we talked, all right, the roof leak has happened twice and hasn't leaked since. However, like if we keep kicking the can on this, like I feel like a warranty might get null and voided, like there might be damage that needs to be fixed because of a roof leak, like all that good stuff. So can we do the hose test that was talked, and I'm not going to pretend like I even know what that is, but can we do the hose test that we talked about last month to just close this off instead of waiting for another rain?
I believe Mark has been talking with William Blake about having something done. There was originally a proposal to do a flood test, basically a hose test where they would have to remove all of the planting beds off of that low roof, seal up the roof drain, flood the space with water, and wait to see if something leaked. Mark proposed skipping the step of taking out the planters, plugging up the roof drain, and just putting a hose up there and flooding that space to see if anything leaked. Also, using a hose test along any of the brick joints, any of the flashing where the roof meets the adjacent wall, to see if it's the flashing that might be leaking.
So how do we make that happen? How do we do that? We talked about that last month too. How do we just do it?
And shouldn't that be done through commissioning to just to check to make sure that the roof is tight?
I don't know if it gets done through commissioning. Commissioning usually, if I remember correctly, pertains mostly to the HVAC systems and whatnot. That's what's being commissioned now.
Well,
Oh.
I don't know about that. They would test like windows and make sure that they're tight and that the air pressure isn't too much on those windows. They'll check the electrical, they'll check. I thought they checked all systems. I would think that the roof should be part of it, because now the town's going to have to pay for the flood test as well, to just so we all feel good that it's not going to leak again. I know it seems like it should be part of. I can ask that to Mark as well.
Yeah, because I know correct me if I'm wrong, Beth, but I thought Mark had mentioned that he was working with William Blake to decide how to move forward on that.
Yeah, I think that there was a big charge associated with moving the plants, but that DPW was willing to just do the hose test or flood test. William is supposed to be taking some of these construction items off of my plate, and we met today, and I did not have roof on my radar. So I think if I send him an email, then he can reconnect with Mark to schedule it. I think that's dependent on it being like no cost, or the cost of the water, you know?
I think
Right.
it's short money to make sure that this warranty and everything's in place. I think,
I
for
agree.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug?
Excuse me, my phone just rang. There is a hose bib up there. And if it's just a matter, if I'm not mistaken, there's a hose bib nearby. If it's not up on the roof for maintenance, it should be one on the patio. It should be a matter of, plugging up the roof drain and sticking the hose up there and running the water. I don't know that they need to bring in a tanker of water to do that. But there may not be a great cost to doing that test, as long as you don't remove. The biggest cost was getting those planters off of the roof and then back onto the roof. So if it can be done without removing the planters, it shouldn't be all that expensive, if at all.
Yeah, Doug?
Yeah, so I mean, my only like last month, I asked this exact question because in late August, we had like a torrential rain, right? Two or 3 days of rain. And I asked last month and there was no issues with that last rain. So, I mean, I completely agree. We need to have some kind of statement from the company about the warranty, because we want to know if they already think it's voided or they're still just considering it maybe voided. I don't know. We need to get a statement from them, but I know the last big rains, it didn't leak. But yeah, I agree with Ron. If it's just a matter of turning on a spigot and for a couple hours and seeing if it leaks, then that should be pretty low cost.
Right, and I agree with Lisa that we need to get these, we need some answers before the warranties are gone and the contractors are gone. So.
Mhm.
Yep.
Lisa, did you have anything more on the list?
Of course I do. Last month, we talked about the ADA issues being resolved, and that you had received some additional quotes, and then the vendor gave a start date of 4 weeks from now. So I'm wondering, are we on track for that? That was September 12th. I think this is week 3 from there, or maybe it's week 4.
This is something I forgot to mention in my report. I'm working with him to schedule a time to meet with Beth to go through with a work plan. What areas he's thinking of doing first, what area, and coordinating it with Beth to make sure that we don't interfere with any programs or other events at the library. So I'm trying to get his schedule cleared to set that time up. So I'm hoping to do that. I'm hoping to get an answer back from him this week or next to get this moving. Because I realize it's coming up on the 3 to 4 weeks. Said, that he said he would be able to start. So I've been prodding him to get him moving.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm done, Mary. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Anybody else have any questions for
I have
Ron?
a question that,
I had a couple, but Lisa asked them.
It's very thorough.
my
John, you had questions?
to the cap that's gonna go over the glass on top of the main staircase. Where the status of that solution?
I think there was a quote for a significant amount of money, like Ron might remember better, $18,000, $19,000, and it's like,
14. Are you talking about the glass, the
yeah,
steel cap on the
Yeah.
glass rail?
14. Yeah,
14,000.
$14,000. So, but it was suggested that we could not hire essentially or do a change order for CTA to do it, but could purchase the hardware and get it installed ourselves. For like maybe $4,000 for parts. So that's now on William Blake's list to investigate price out. And I would recommend bringing it to capital campaign to see if they would be, I mean, they have lots of expenses and they've been very generous. Thank you, Doug. But they paid for a part of the glass handrail and as already. So that would be, we don't have a funding source, I don't think, unless there's more money coming back from the project or things that we don't end up completing. Like, I feel like we're very tight.
The reason I
So-
bring it up is I'm sitting in Beth's office and I'm looking at the exact same thing that's going from
Oh,
the new building to the old building.
Yeah, that's
there
very
is-
big though.
There is a cover that was included on it. So why would there be a cover on the little short 2 steps, but not a staircase leading from the first to the second floor? So this is like going back to square one, not just fixing the problem, but why is it in one location and not in another from the original design?
Hmm.
Because it's exactly the same
And-
glass panel for the stairs.
I would have to ask Ken why it wasn't included in the design.
If you could check on that, Ron, just to make sure that we didn't own it and they just didn't provide it.
Will do.
Thank you.
That's all.
Anybody else?
I interrupted Doug. I think.
Nothing
Nope.
more, Doug?
Nope.
Okay.
Did Lisa asked all his questions. Thanks, Lisa.
Okay, Historic District Commission, anything, John?
The little evergreen tree that we were worried about, that we were asking to see if there's a place for it in your landscape plan, and there was kind of a question of whether there is a place. They said, I think there is going to be a place for it on the common, or they're going to leave it, so that's no longer an open issue.
Okay,
And then I just emailed for, this is not historic district, but it's historical commission regarding the weights and measure cabinets that the chairman was supposed to reach out to the fire chief, because it seems like the fire chief is the one that's the one that is the controlling authority over the building codes relating to the fire panel, the fire alarm, that this would be near. And I know Dave's had a death in the family in the last couple of weeks, so I'm not real sure, where things stand because he said he would check into that. I just don't know if he's had a chance to. So those
Okay.
are the two things that I have.
Benches,
Um,
is that HTC?
HDC, and I thought we approved
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we had some donor benches that HTC approved, and Doug and I are gonna meet soon, I hope, to
Did
talk
somebody,
about placement
did
and.
somebody reach out to Doug or you? Did Bill Nicholson?
Yeah,
Okay.
I spoke to Bill and he said, he confirmed that they were approved. So it's just a matter of scheduling with DPW.
Okay. That's all I have.
Lisa?
So any work done or any new information on the historical display? That Beth, I think you were gonna reach out to Blackstone Valley Tech,
Mm.
if there's a
Yeah.
student that can create the app, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I didn't hear back.
Okay.
I have a new suggestion. I have a bar mitzvah student who has to do a service project. And I said, what if we do QR codes throughout the whole building where you can take a picture and see how it used to look right where you're standing, but like ideally an app would do that, but that might be a stopgap. And I'll work with William to get probably just some photos printed to make some sort of a timeline on the ramp wall to fulfill our obligation.
That's awesome. Thank you. That was a great update.
And low cost.
Yeah.
All of it,
Yeah,
$0.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody have anything? They wanna, Doug?
So one of the reasons I wanted the meeting minutes is, did we discuss and finalize and approve the dedication plaque? Because we're ready to get that remanufactured. But I couldn't find in the minutes where we actually approved that.
I think you passed it around.
I did.
And people looked at it, but I don't know if there's been an actual approval. That's why I had sent you an email to say, do you have it that you can share it with everyone?
I do, if I can.
Yep.
If I can share.
Oh, nope, that's Lisa. Done.
And that's the donor plaque, right?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the dedication plaque for the building.
Did you
Uh,
get a revised shop drawing from them?
Nope, I
Oh,
think we're
okay.
starting from scratch again for that. So,
I thought the one in the entrance is already there.
correct. And if you remember, we decided that it was incorrect because it missed out on a bunch of stuff. So this was the new version that has cycled around this committee, I think, a couple times. In May 11th was the last version that I sent around saying this is the final version.
Right.
And it has everyone's markups on it. So do we need to look at it now and approve it, or can we just approve it?
The font is different for Linda. Okay. I
Yep,
see
there's
that.
a note.
There's a few notes. Yeah, I think all the yellow stuff is the new stuff, right? It's whether it's an asterisk highlighting that they're on more than one committee, or new spelling of names, and then this one has new font. There was an extra space in Drummy Roseanne.
I was Galloway for the duration of the project. I'm fine with it being Galloway on this plaque. It'll be Schreiber, I believe, on the donor wall. It's fine. It can stay Galloway as long as there's no O in Galloway.
I was gonna say, where are you? Oh, there you're up there.
At the
Yeah.
top.
Galloway. We could
Hmm.
hyphenate your name, Beth.
No.
Well, now is the time to change it
Yeah,
if you'd
now's
rather
the
have
time if
Schreiber,
you
because it
want it to
hasn't been
be-
made yet. But
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Galloway's fine.
And then we should probably add Andy Jefferson to the list. And do we want the select board members to reflect everybody who's been a select board member throughout this whole project? Because Andy would need to be added there as well.
I think it's supposed to be up to the date of dedication.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it was really would have been up
Yeah.
to last
I-
last fall or whenever that was.
Okay.
Right.
Not that I want to leave anybody out, but
I just don't want to have to do another plaque. Yeah.
Yeah.
so Beth, final, you're going with Galloway on this?
Galloway here, it'll be Schreiber on the donor wall. Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
And for the dedication, it's not a date, it's just a year.
Just a year, yeah, because we couldn't come to an agreement on what the date was gonna be. The ribbon cutting, the substantial completion, something, the date that we opened, those are three
Mhm.
different dates right there. So 2021.
Right.
Okay, so does somebody want to make a motion to vote on this?
I was going, just going to, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the plaque as is. Woohoo, again. We've
I'll
already done
second
this
it.
once.
Okay, any other discussion on this? Any other comments before we vote?
Just Doug, once you hand this off for pricing or whatever, and they come back with a shop drawing, I'd be happy to review it again.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna go to just blanking on it, the sign company in
Sunshine?
town, Sunshine, yeah,
Sunshine.
Sunshine, yes.
They're very good to work with.
Yes, they have been very good.
Was there gonna be a star to indicate the location of the library on the map or no? We talked about that at one point.
I don't think so.
Okay, great.
Great.
Okay,
have to
so
vote.
we're gonna vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
I,
and Mary I. Declare the motion carried. It is official.
Great, thank
Get it-
you.
Get it built. Okay, so we already had a meeting for November. And hopefully we will be done by the next one, but we can set it for December if people feel more comfortable. So November 7th. We have it, and then it would be December. December 5th. Okay,
It's in our calendar already.
oh, we already put it in
Beth-
there?
Beth had already sent it out, I think, because I think it came. I feel like you did. Maybe not. Maybe I put it in my own self, but
I might have done the whole year
yeah,
of 2021 for all of 2022 and just assumed. I
maybe.
just put it in. First Monday of the month.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Monday of the month. Okay, guys. There's nothing else.
I'm gonna
Yep.
make a motion at 6:45 to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. Vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
I.
Mary, I. All right.